Welcome to the Global Rising Summit. Stand up, speak out, be seen. I am Janine Savient, my co-host Heather Alice Drake behind the scenes here, and with us today we have Talia Loma. Welcome to you, Talia.
Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Heather. It's exciting to be here.
We're excited to have you here too, Talia. So I'll just read your bio out for the viewers. In Talia's words, I work as a spiritual physicist. Physics of the soul is a vibrational philosophy, working with the paradigms of the mind, shifting fear-based thoughts, consciousness, lifestyle towards love and trust, towards clarity and understanding, to assist in stabilising a more vibrant and abundant life, assisting in a rejuvenation of self-empowerment, an opportunity to discern your own reality with vibrational awareness, tapping into the heart feeling side of the being, supporting you as you continue to awaken within your soul's dream and become a conscious dreamer, that your life may flourish with creative compassion and divine inspiration. We are all vibrational beings focused in form. We are all in the process of becoming, doing the best we can with the knowledge we have in each moment, and without exception, we will learn through our experiences. Physics of the soul works on all levels, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, to assist you with your ability to create and sustain a life enhanced with joy. Beautiful. The part about that I absolutely makes my heart go to mush is the supporting you as you continue to awaken within your soul's dream and become a conscious dreamer. That is just absolutely beautiful wording, Talia. So
thank you.
I've never heard it actually quite described like that before.
It's my guides or teachers that actually gave me those words, as they do most of the words that I use. And they just said one day, you know, we are focused into form and learning to awaken within our soul's dream and return back to self. So, and sometimes they bring those beautiful things through, and same for me, my heart goes, oh my God, I love that. So.
Yes, well, my heart loved that as well. And I must say already, we've only just started, and already I'm starting to see orbs around you, and I can see Heather's nodding as well. Yes, so it's beautiful visual as well as connecting with you energetically here. So Talia, how did you find yourself on the path that you're on at the moment?
Well, I used to live out at a place called Mangarakau in the 80s, and I pretty much was hiding from humanity. I found that easier for me, and I was in my early 20s and then moving into my mid-20s, quite an isolated space. And just one day, the voices that had been with me all my life, and I just accepted them, said, do you realize that you dream stuff? And it comes true. And I went, yeah, well, doesn't everybody? And they started, I guess you could say, playing with me to wake me up, knowing my personality. And I started to realize that not everybody's mind works the same. And then they asked me to leave Mangarakau, which I didn't want to. It was my absolute heaven, nature, animals. And took me 4 years, and I eventually did it. And from the moment I left, everything just amplified and enhanced. And they would keep suggesting to do things, so I would put them into practice, and I would spit the dummy and throw my toys out of the cot and come back again. And I eventually realized that everything that they were getting me to put into practice was being confirmed as a potential reality.
So from listening to you, Talia, I would say that you had a lot of trust in these beautiful beings that were guiding you nearly right from the start, right from the word go. Would that be the case?
Yeah, and it's only because I didn't know any different. I kind of didn't, I went to school, but I didn't do school. So, and I've realized obviously later in life that that was my design, so that I wouldn't be taught to think too much. I don't ask many questions. And so whether it was out of a naivety or an acceptance, it was the normal for me.
Mm. And how long ago did these beautiful beings come in and start asking for these great changes?
I noticed it more when I was at Mangarakau, though as I could look back through my life, they've been there since I can remember. I've seen things and heard things since I can remember. So I
and
didn't
so
talk.
you would say you were more ready then when you were in Mangarakau?
Rakau? Yep.
So you were obviously at the point of readiness to step into the trust, to open to the many layers and levels of reality.
Yes, and I spent 7.5 years out there, and since that time has passed and I know more of what I know now that I didn't kind of know back then or didn't realize I knew, they said to me one day that it was like my 7 years in Tibet, and what I took that was, it was a place to just kind of go and be and maybe release some of those things that, you know, we experience growing up, particularly when we go into puberty and to young teenage life, and when you're trying to discover who you are in the world or mimic other people in the world. And it gave me the opportunity to just return to my center, is how I would perceive it now.
How beautiful, how beautiful. So what would you say your vocation is in this life, Talia?
Love. I absolutely adore humanity and all its beauty, all its diversity, all its facets, and to come from that place of unconditional love, which to me is not about whether I like something or not, it's about an understanding. And to shine as best I can and be the best that I can in being me.
Beautiful. Is there anything else that you could ever be but you?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. And so how do you receive the information or the learning or understanding for this beautiful vocation of love?
Well, sometimes can be over days, weeks, months, years. They start bringing layering in of information, and I receive it. I see visually so crystal clear. I hear with clarity, and I sense it, feel it, and I put the teachings or the practices into practice, and then I discover for myself that it is a perceived reality that I can live and that I can embrace. And once I get the learning the way they want me to understand it, I said originally, how do I share that easily? Because it's all about being easily. And so they do it in analogies. So once there's an understanding, the next thing that happens is instantaneously an analogy appears, and the video and the words, and I know it from the moment that it's said. And then over the next few weeks, as I talk about it with other people and share it with other people, of course the words expand and the energy begins to flow more and be more available to somebody in the way that they can understand it. Because really, for us to grow and expand in ourselves is to know something that resonates with us.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. So your business is called Physics of the Soul. And I would say from what I've read about you and what I know about you, Talia, that you would live your business. You would teach from a place of, and be the example from a place of absolute knowing in yourself and experiences leading up to the moment. Would that be correct?
Yes, to the best of my ability in each moment.
Yes.
As I say often, every day I'm still learning my way and knowing who I am in this moment and who I may be in another moment. I'll discover that when I'm there. So yes, yeah.
It's lovely. So how do you live physics of the soul then?
It's to be aware and fully present of self. So even knowing something that may create a response in me or create some sensation in a part of my body, to have absolutely, to the best of my ability, no judgment whatsoever, not even a regret. Is just to go, okay, that's what I'm feeling or seeing or experiencing at the moment. It's okay. It's not actually something that's wrong. And in this next moment, I can choose to vibrate in a new way with that experience, because ultimately it comes down to vibration. We can think about, talk about, look at anything or create a belief around anything, yet ultimately it is our vibration that is going to tell us where we're at by what we feel. And I know that I am 100% responsible for how I feel. No matter what goes on around me, it is my choice how I feel in that experience.
Yes, yes. Total responsibility for self.
Yes.
Yes. And so do you have clients come to you face to face, Talia?
Yes, I do. I have one-on-one bookings. I take classes occasionally. And I also do Skype sessions, phone calls, things like that.
Yes.
There's no one way, so I just go the flow.
And what can a client expect when they come to you for say a one-on-one or over Skype? What can they expect?
The opportunity to have an experience with self, to come back to self, to recognize maybe patterns of wording, expressions, comfortability, whether someone's in a blame or a judgment or a hurt or a confusion. With my team, it's all about the words, it's all about the conversation, and it's about bringing them and empowering them back into trusting their intuitive self and believing in themselves ultimately.
Isn't that a big one? To believe in ourselves would probably be the biggest ask of all. We can easily believe in another before ourselves at times. Isn't that correct?
Oh, so true. Been there, done that 600 times.
Is that all?
Okay, 600,000 maybe.
I was going to say you've learned it very quickly. So how do you utilise your connection with Source to help others?
I allow it to flow through me. In the time that they were really waking me up and bringing me fully present into knowing myself, when they even said, to do things which I would have once called readings and now I would call more like insight or universally assisted learning, I said to them, first and foremost, it's got to be the truth, otherwise I'm not interested. It's got to be in a way that empowers the person, in a way that suits their personality, and that I've got to continue to grow and evolve with the experience as well. So I allow myself to just be an open channel to allow whatever is to flow through for them in a way that they can understand, in the words that they can understand. And of course, the team will bring in visions to go with that. that will relate to their life, that they can understand and give them the opportunity to perceive it or experience it in a different way.
Wow, thank you. So you would do a fair bit of channeling with your team coming through when you're with your clients? Yeah.
Yes, again, a while back, I said that I would love that integration as I came to understand more from the way that they were working with me. I wanted to come from that place as an everyday, every moment, everyday experience. So I said that it would be great that in everything I do, that if my higher self could talk through me, rather than the personality self being in a place of fear and doubt. And I've been in the fear and doubt, and they've given me the experiences to do that, to understand that, to get to that place of faith and trust, and to just allow. And because I wasn't taught at school, so to speak, I don't think. I'm not a thinker. I'm not a question asker. I just, whatever comes out my mouth, I hear it as it's coming out my mouth.
Oh, that's fabulous. So, Talia, what advice would you give to those that are watching that are after a deep connection to other realities? What advice have you got for them to be able to help them to open to that deeper connection?
To first and foremost, we are vibrational beings. No matter what, this whole construct is vibrational first. So my guys would say, and Physics of the Soul was the name they gave to the work that I do, and they said the soul is the prism that focuses the light of creation into form. So we are vibrational beings focused into form. And our left brain is about learned knowledge, how we've processed our life experiences. And that includes past lives too. It's all in the left brain, whereas the right brain is our intuitive brain. It's our feeling brain. It's our compassionate, our knowing. It's connected to the feeling side of the being. So when we have a situation in our life, or we believe the illusion that we actually have a decision to make, instantaneously our feeling side of our being, our intuitive, is there instant. We feel it instantly. This feels good or it doesn't. We might say it's goosebumps. We might say there's a rush passing through our body, or it just resonates. Yet, because we've been trained as a species to be very left brain, the next split second the left brain goes, if, but, what, maybe, shall I, shan't I, can I, can't I? And our left brain's very connected to our personality if we haven't trained it to be in a place of trust. So therefore, it will only access information from the past, because it can fantasize, it can guess, it can assume a future thing, but it won't know it till it's actually lived it. Whereas the intuitive self's connected to the soul consciousness, the source of self. So it doesn't need to tell a story. It doesn't need a dialogue. It doesn't need to justify. It just goes, yeah, this feels right. Do you want to step forward or don't you? So it's first and foremost being open to start recognizing how you feel, and then deciding whether you want to feel different, communicating with what your perception of spirit is. No matter what label you give it, the divinity that is creation has many names through all cultures and through all time frames. So whatever is the word that is comfortable for you, the perception that is comfortable for you, and just tune into that and sit and open yourself up to be inspired, and then watch what happens. And if you can do that without judgment, and you can do that without doubt, or when you catch yourself judging or doubting, just take a breath and bring yourself back and go, hey, this is about my feelings and my energy. It's not about a dialogue. Then I will be inspired and I will feel it, because every single one of us on this planet is of a vibration manifest into form. No one is different in the sense of what we can tap into. It's just more whether we believe it or believe how easy it can be. And I'm someone that's always said, give it to me in my face in a way I can understand. So that's what they do. We always get what we ask for.
Gosh, yes. You mention often the left and the right brains and the different functions of the left and the right brain. A lot of people are saying now that we're moving away from more the brain-based way of living and moving more into the heart. Would you say that that's correct, or is it a balance, learning the balance between the brain and the heart and bringing them into alignment? How would you say, from your understanding, your awareness?
I believe that it is about that, because we have a brain and we've been taught to think. So it is part of our journey. And it is, like you say, it is about the balance. And if we can quieten that, what maybe one of the analogies is the fly fisherman, and that's about dialogue. Because when your left brain is in a struggle, then you have taken the bait, and the right brain being the feeling brain. So if we can go instantly, this is how I feel, and then we listen to the left brain second, it will go, yes, because I've seen, I've experienced, I know, I understand. There's no doubt, because it's lived something, so it knows it. And so that is, to me, that is the balance, and that becomes the divine mind, which is the activation of the heart, which is connected to the Christ itself, which is coming from a place of unconditional love, which means a place of understanding.
That's a beautiful way of putting it. So definitely the alignment of the brain and the heart coming in together.
That trinity again.
Yes.
And
yes.
Bringing that trinity of spirit down into here and connecting here. We say that in human terms, yet this is where it exists. It exists through the whole being. But this sacred heart area is a powerful place of love, and to come from that expansive place.
Beautiful. So earlier on, when we were talking at the beginning of our interview, you mentioned the word analogy a couple of times within a sentence. Can you give an example using an analogy for us now?
Absolutely. So with what we were just talking about the left and right brain, so one of the very first and one of my absolute favorites analogies is the fly fisherman. And the analogy came in as the fly fisherman, which, for those of you who may not understand, the fly fisherman's the one on the river who creates a fly, and he weaves his magic, and he goes for the trout and the salmon rather than a deep sea fisherman. So the analogy goes, the fly fisherman is very gifted at creating the perfect fly to attract the trout's attention. And then he weaves his magic so that the fly behaves real. So to the trout, it looks real, it behaves real, and it's like, yay, there's my dinner. And so the trout starts chasing the bait. Now, as soon as it takes the bait, it goes into struggle. So when you put that to the left brain, if we are in here, we are not in struggle. If we are in a place of, okay, it's not comfortable, or yay, this is fun, we're here. If we start to go into a struggle, but what shall I, maybe can I, what will they say, I haven't got enough, then we've taken the bait. And what we've done is moved ourselves out of here and gone into a dialogue. And we know we're in it because we're in struggle. We're starting to doubt, we're starting to question, we're starting to worry, we're starting to blame, we're starting to judge. And we can bring ourselves back by going, wow, I've taken the bait. That's okay. I can now let it go. I can breathe. I can have a cup of coffee. I can have a glass of wine. I can go sit in the sun. I can have a bubble bath. I can do something that feels better than the struggle that I am experiencing at the moment.
That's a beautiful analogy. Thank you. Thank you. You know, Talia, because I know you, not deeply, but I do know you, I have always seen you to be a person full of love, joy and fun. And I would like to know how you manage to maintain that state of being.
I've had my moments. Because not that I knew it when I was younger, that is my design. And as I started, I guess, putting people on pedestals and my own lack of confidence, I started to believe there was something wrong, because you're not supposed to see everything as okay. And so in the teachings that I have put into practice, and when I say the teachings and who I am, this me is 98% inner voice, inner vision. It is not because I have read books. I don't read. I don't study. I don't look up things. I'm someone who needs it to come through me to be real. I need to experience it as real. So I came to a point of realizing it's actually okay. People might see me as a bit naive or think I've got my head in the sand or I'm airy fairy. I'm not, though. I'm a very grounded person, and I can be very blunt and direct at times. Yet I understand the construct. I understand what I've been taught. So I just put that into practice to the best of my ability.
Yes. So who are you, Talia Loma?
I am someone who is on this beautiful planet in collaboration with every other person, every other being, no matter what form it takes, doing the best I can each day in the experience, and putting into practice different perceptions, knowing that I can create my own reality and be a living example for others to create theirs.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I honour what you've just said. If people are wanting to connect with you, I do know that at this time you don't have a website or a Facebook page. So if people are wanting to connect with you, lovely lady, how would they go about that?
And I have played with that one with the Facebook and the website, and I kept coming back to it's not me, it's not me.
Yeah.
I love those things existing, they're just not for me. So my email address, and I have just, in this moment, it'll be different by the time this is out there, YouTube. Am uploading some information onto YouTube with some help, friend.
That's absolutely fabulous, because these interviews go right out to many corners of the world, and so there's going to be those that really get pulled and have a deep connection with all that you've said here. So it's important that we have the links and the email address, which we will get off you and put underneath this video for those ones to be able to see. So thank you so very much, Talia, for being on this summit with us. We are both, Heather, I speak for both Heather and myself here, we're very honoured to have you come on board with us here and to allow the world to see the beauty that is you.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the opportunity. It's a new experience for me. I haven't done this sort of thing before, and I'm so grateful and appreciative that you beautiful ladies are making people in this incredible world available to the world. in this way. So I honour both of you, and I thank both of you for the opportunity.
Thank you. And just before we go, it's just come to me to ask you, do you have a message for humanity before we close down today?
If you can stand in a place of surrender with an open heart and an open mind, your world will begin to transform as you start to hear the inner voice, the inner teacher. It is easy to react, respond, and mimic that which you see in the world, hear in the world, and interact with in the world. Yet if you can see from a place of love, feel from a place of love, stand in a place of knowing, and begin to believe and embrace you without fear, step forward as you without fear, then you will come to know the greater you. And you will come to know that the greatest teacher within you is your source, your divinity, your light. Be brave, be expansive, and allow yourself to laugh and cry, to play, to surrender, and to allow, and be all that you can be. This is a beautiful world, an absolutely spectacular world. And there are amazing people and amazing opportunities. And you align to those opportunities when you align to how amazing and magnificent you are. And be patient, be kind, be loving with yourself, and know that it does take linear time to break a pattern and create a new one. Our gift to you is love. It is always love. And in your surrender, you are embraced eternally by love, for in truth, you are love. As it has been said, it is already so. Thank you.